Hello and good evening. I am Hafiz Marzukhi, and as you know, Euro is actually happening this Saturday. In fact, we have the first match this Saturday on the 12th of June. Although we know for a fact Euro 2020 has been postponed due to the pandemic. And of course, with me here today is of course Adam Carruthers, my colleague, who is also very close to the action, I'll say, to discuss about what we can expect for Euro 2020. So, Adam, thanks for joining me for this evening. I'm just wondering, this. I mean, it's already 2021, and yet we are still talking about Euro 2020. How excited are you for this edition? Because you know it's been postponed over a year, and of course there are a lot of new things coming on. What say you?
Well, I just want to clarify to everybody, it is officially so-called UEFA Euro 2020. A lot of people are saying to me, oh, you've got the date wrong. I said, no, that's the official title, even though it's in a different calendar year. 5 years since the last edition. I'm really excited for this. I'm hoping that it'll be as entertaining as all the other tournaments we've had in the past, because if there's any international tournament where we've seen underdogs achieve something big, it is this tournament.
Yes, and of course, Adam, we also know that apparently VAR is making video assistant referee is also making a debut in Euro. How far do you think it will impact the competition? Because you know, in Premier League, there's even like reports detailing statistics of how VAR affects games. How do you think it will affect this edition of the tournament?
It really depends on how they want to implement VAR, because in different competitions there is leeway given to the organizers. So it depends how high you want to set the bar. If it's a very, very low bar, that means VAR is not going to interject much during a game. If it's a very high bar, you'll see VAR involved more and more. So it's really dependent on how high the bar is going to be set to see how much of an impact VAR could have in the competition.
Well, I mean, yes, it's definitely going to be nerve-wracking for those who see all these decisions being made in real time. I've also moving on. I've also been watching some of your series of Adam Talks. I mean, very informative on all the on the teams as well as what you can expect from any game. What say you? Who are the favorites for this edition of the tournament?
I've been very fortunate in that we've partnered up with The Athletic, which is, I would say, the industry leader in sports journalism. Started off in America, and now it's moved to the UK. They have the best writers available to them, and it's an app on all mobile devices and tablets. So we've partnered up with them to preview the entire tournament. So I had 2 journalists join me to discuss every group. Now, these episodes are being uploaded as we speak to our various platforms and on TV broadcast as well. And the general consensus is probably France are the favorites. They're current World Cup champions, of course. They were finalists on home soil 5 years ago in 2016, losing against Portugal, rather shockingly. But again, it goes back to that underdog thing which I mentioned before. But their talent in depth is unparalleled, from the likes of Griezmann, Mbappe. I mean, yes, they have a very, very tough group, but they are also the champions of the world for a reason. They'll be looking to become champions of Europe as well.
Of course, every edition of the tournament, we've also spoken about the group of death. And I believe France is actually in the group of death. How would you rate Portugal's chances, considering, I mean, they are the defending champs, but of course, they are a very much different team compared to 5 years ago. What do you think?
They are a different team. I think that they've certainly gotten a little bit older now, a little bit more experience, but they've also gotten some more young blood in. Stars who have really come about in the last 5 years, like Diogo Jota at Liverpool, who has been crucial when he has been physically fit. Bruno Fernandes was not a big name 5 years ago either. So Portugal, for some, it's unfair to call them dark horses because of the quality in their squad. You would have to say, for a lot of people, they're in maybe the top 3 favorites. The Netherlands, well, they haven't qualified for the last 2 international tournaments which have been available to them, so it's really hard to see where they're going to go. De Boer hasn't really convinced as the manager who's taken charge there, even though they got to the Nations League final under Ronald Koeman. The Germans are very much in a state of transition as well. I feel anyway, with the manager leaving after the tournament. He's brought back some of the old guard as well, people that he's ostracized, omitted from the national setup. So I don't know what to expect from Germany, to tell the truth as well. That's why I put France as the favorites. Portugal are definitely in there, no question about it, in the top 3 of favorites.
Okay, when you say the top 3, I assume is Belgium one of them, because I was made to understand that they are also one of the top teams in terms of FIFA's ranking.
Yeah, no, they are good, but I think that they've had some problems with Eden Hazard, who is very much one of their main players. In fact, this week, he made his first appearance for the national side, I believe, since 2019. Now, of course, last year was beset by COVID, so there weren't too many internationals, but he has been injured, severely so, ever since he joined Real Madrid. And he hasn't found his best form heading into this tournament. Now, maybe he'll explode and we'll see the best of Eden Hazard, but that's hard to imagine. Kevin De Bruyne, UEFA Champions League final, he had that horrible facial injury, so we're not sure how fit he's going to be. Romelu Lukaku has been in great form, so he'll probably be the main man. And a lot of their players now are a bit older, and we keep calling them the golden generation, but you do wonder if maybe that ship has sailed with the World Cup in 2018. Maybe age really has caught up with them, but we'll see.
Yes, we'll definitely see as the competition opens at the end of the week. However, Adam, I do want to ask you, what are Astro's offerings for Euro 2020 this time around, which is also happening in 2021? What are there any new offerings this time around?
Yeah, well, as standard, we of course have all the matches, all 51 games in the highest possible definition for you to enjoy at home. Of course, this is happening during a really bad COVID time here in Malaysia. So there's no better place to be than at home, staying safe and enjoying all the football that's on offer. We'll be in the studio. I'll be joined by some guests. Now, this is where I really enjoy doing the tournaments more than anything else, because we focus mainly on Premier League during the course of a season, of course, and we tend to only have guests who have only played in the Premier League. So that does limit us to some of the names that we can use. However, when we're talking international football, well, it's a whole different ballgame. Of course, there's going to be the regular faces that you've seen, like Tony Adams, a huge name. We've got current players who are active now, but are not in the national team squads, like Andros Townsend. And we've also got names that we've never used before, like Alessandro Nesta, one of Italy and AC Milan's greatest ever players, joining us. So that's something to look forward to, their unique perspective, analysis, and take on the game. And something else I'm looking forward to is you can get out your smartphone, which I'm holding here in my hand, check out the Astro Go app, because you can watch the games there if someone else is enjoying something on the big screen. But you can also do a whole lot more. Check out all the different angles. You can play around and have a fully interactive, fun experience with the Astro Go app, as opposed to on the traditional big screen TV.
I mean, I'm definitely excited for that. I mean, there's something new. I remember, I think we've had the second screen experience sometime back, but I think now it will be more interactive and way more. There'll be way more features this time around. Anyways, Adam, thank you so much for sharing this with me. Of course, I and the team will be following you very closely this coming tournament. All the best to you. Have a great Euro 2020, and we'll see you again.
Definitely. And who